Hi there and welcome to another episode of Vox Singing Academy's video podcast number 11. So we're getting into double figures, legs. Woo! 11. It's great to be here, Em.
Yeah.
How's your week been?
Still alive.
Still alive.
Yes.
Fantastic. Excellent.
So many student concerts. Exciting.
You're going and seeing a lot of people performing?
Seeing, going, yeah. Future ones and past ones.
Fantastic.
And yeah, super exciting.
It's exciting to be in Melbourne. It's a pot of entertainment here all the time. Everything's always happening. The comedy festival's coming up, and there's always bands, and Melbourne has always been like that. We've been very, very lucky to be like that. It's like Sydney doesn't have, I think, I have bands that go and tour up in Sydney, and they generally have, I think there are about 4 or 5 venues there. But that's, we're very lucky and blessed to be here in Melbourne. Nothing against Sydney. It's a beautiful, beautiful town. I love Sydney. But
so many people smoke though.
in Sydney,
Yeah.
you should go to Cairo.
Oh my god.
Everywhere, I suppose.
Yeah.
If you like this channel, please subscribe and you'll get a little bing every time that we release a new video.
Press the bell for the bing. Press the bell for the bing. Leave us comments and questions.
Yes, if you have any comments, please, we'll get back to every single comment and every single question, we promise.
Yes.
This week's question is, I want to start... No, it's a different one. That's next week's. My family does not support my passion for music. What do I do? Yeah, exactly.
That's the worst. Well, it depends on, let's break it up by age, because obviously there are different times when you depend on your family and when you can negotiate with them. And basically what we will be talking about the most right now is showing, not telling. Showing them your passion, showing them your dedication, and making sure that both your family and your passion have your time and attention. So it's never a matter of choice either or. It's always about making, for me, making sure that your family understands how important it is for you. And there is no other way to do it except for practicing.
I want to broaden the question. Let's not just have it for family, because this could be your best friend, your partner, your husband, wife, whoever it may be.
Your legal guardians.
Your community, your religion, your race, whatever it might be. So it could be, I want to broaden it to the most broadest extent that we possibly can. The bottom line is follow your heart. That's what you'll always want to do. Follow your heart and follow your gut instincts. And if you enjoy singing, keep on doing it.
Yes.
And don't worry about what the naysayers say or anything like that. Can you imagine what the people would... If anyone... A perfect example, let's take it to this. If anyone has seen Bohemian Rhapsody, the movie, and I suggest everyone go and watch that movie, even if you're not a Queen fan.
Rami Malek is incredible.
Amazing.
Fantastic Freddie.
Amazing. I thought he was exceptional. And his family wasn't supportive of him, and his father wasn't supportive of him right up to the very end. He wasn't supportive. But Freddie loved doing what he was doing. And it must have been very hard for Freddie Mercury, the way that he looked in England, that way, being dark with the teeth and different things like that. So I'm sure that he, not just his family, lots of other hurdles, but he knew what he wanted to do and he was passionate about it and he followed his heart, and that's really what you've got to do. It's extremely difficult, and you just can't worry about the naysayers. You've got to believe in yourself, and And it doesn't matter whether you're making a lot of money out of your art, as long as you're enjoying what you're doing. That's really the main thing.
Shall we start from the start? Let's say I'm an 11-year-old.
Yep.
I really like singing and playing piano, but my family doesn't like me doing it.
Leave
it's
home.
Loud.
Leave home.
Well, I did at 16, but not because of that. Yeah, let's be realistic here. I am dependent on my family to provide for me, for roof, for my schooling, for my clothes, food, and they absolutely do not want me making any noise in the house, or they think it doesn't suit my gender, or they think it's an empty pursuit and I should be doing something else like sports. What would you recommend to me as an 11-year-old?
Watch the Bob Marley movie.
Movies are the answer.
Read Bob Marley's autobiography. Again, come from a very poor background, started doing what he was doing. His mum didn't want him to do it, didn't have a dad. Followed what he wanted to do. And I have a saying, especially in our Monday morning meetings, is that champions don't make excuses. I use that. So if someone F's up with us, I don't care about the excuse. I want a solution for it that's going to work out the best for everyone. You need to sit down with the people that are closest to you, and you need to speak to them and say, hey, this is, I really like doing this. I enjoy doing this. It brings me a lot of joy, and I'd really appreciate it if you could support me doing this in some way. Possibly I can go and do this at Grandma's place or next door, or I think in every situation in the world, every situation, I'm talking from countries, North and South Korea fighting, to about what we never have, me and you never have meetings about discussions about what we're going to be doing for the podcast, but I think that there should be a middle ground in every situation and a compromise in every situation, and I think clear communication is the cure-all for that.
Yes.
And that's what I really think. But I also think that if you are an 11-year-old and you're watching this, don't be a hellion. Don't go off and be a brat about it. But sit the people down that are there, and they're obviously caring about your greater good as well too. And especially if you come from possibly a country that has scarcity. Now, I grew up with this personally myself. I had two post-World War parents that come from the Second World War to Australia, and they go, we're just lucky to be here, we're lucky to be alive. And it was very much nearly growing up being a scaremonger, my parents were. Let's be honest about it. We were. And it was like, I grew up with go to school, go to high school, get a government job, have 2.5 kids, dog and a Labrador, a mortgage, die. That was it.
Exciting. That was it.
That's the way that they lived their lives. And no disrespect against my mum and dad, raised me fantastically well. I had a great upbringing. But I really didn't find myself until I went and moved to the United States when I was in my late teens, where I just experienced life over there, and I could finally do whatever I wanted to do whenever I wanted to do it. And it was a great experience, and I grew up very, very quickly. So I think that's really, I know it's extremely difficult, but you will find a way. If you like it, you'll find a way. Find someone in your family that will support you. Maybe your grandma will support you. Maybe someone else will. Maybe a teacher. Maybe a mentor. And then maybe they can speak to your parents. But then again, I just say have patience. And like with Bob Marley, Bob Marley, I think, don't quote me, lived in America, then went back to Jamaica when he was very early, and then he lived by himself. But have patience. Keep on doing what you're doing, right? Because when you're 16 or 18, you can go and do what you want then. So be true to yourself and keep on writing songs and keep on doing that and believe in yourself and believe in your dream. And even if you're living in a second world country or a third world country, don't stop. Nothing's impossible. Look at Bob Marley from Jamaica back then. Go and chase your dream. Move to another country. Do this. Follow your heart.
Well, in another addition, from a perspective again from experience of one of my students, teenage boy really wanted to have singing lessons, and his family told me, no, you can't have singing lessons because you have to do chores, you have to help out at home.
Yep.
And the boy offered his parents to babysit his younger brother once a week while they go and do their own things, in exchange for singing lessons every week. So this is a fantastic idea. So if you are a child, a teenager, offer your families something that you can do for everyone in exchange for everyone doing something for you.
I like to see the chores that he's doing. He's not living in outback Missouri where he's on a farm.
Yes, but who likes doing the dishes? Who likes vacuuming? There are people who like my husband likes vacuuming, and I'm super grateful for it because in 10 years I haven't done it a single time. But yeah, so offer your family a solution. Don't just say them, I want to do it. If you don't allow me, I will move into another country. Say, I really, really want to do it. And this is how serious I am about it. I will take on this daily or weekly chore and never skip out on it. If you skip out on it, your family will understand that you are not serious about it. So offer them a compromise that you will do something for them. If they allow you to do something like singing, even if they are not fond of it, if they don't want the noise or don't think it's a serious pursuit.
You'll find a way. Someone else that I think is inspirational to me, it was Arnold Schwarzenegger's very early childhood and upbringing in Austria, where he was very interested in bodybuilding from a very early age. And I know that his mum thought that he was not right by putting these nude men up on his walls that he was inspired by, and they were deadlifters and bodybuilders. And what Arnold Schwarzenegger did was amazing. He was a young boy, and he dreamed of being Mr. Universe as a young boy, and he would work out after school, and his parents didn't do it. Then he got I forgot when you get drafted into the army. And he used to take weights in the tank, and he used to when they would stop somewhere, he would be doing weights in the tank. And he used to work out in every situation. Then he had to go move somewhere else, and he found ways to lift weights when he was in the army somewhere, so he could keep this up for his pursuit. And then he saved up enough money and went to America. And it was against everything that his mum and dad were wanting for him. His dad was a general in the army, and that's what they wanted him to do. So he appeased them by going into the army, and then went off and said, hey, look, I really need to go and do this. I'm 18, I'm old enough, I'm going. And the rest is history. If you want something bad enough, even growing up around that area that would have been he would have been born before the war. Yes. So it would have been a very difficult time in Austria. Very, very difficult time. So if you've got a passion for it, you've just got to really tell anyone, whoever it is, and just say, look, can you please support me with this? I think with children it's very difficult because you're so influenced by your parents. You really are. If you're an adult, it's a lot easier, and if someone's not supporting what it is, unless it's something that's illegal or it's going to hurt someone else. If the person, your loved one's not supporting you, I don't think that they're the right person for you, really, if they're not supporting the greater good of what you want to do. And again, I know there's always compromise in every relationship. There's a saying, behind a great man there's always a great woman, behind a great woman there's always a great man. You look at Oprah Winfrey's partner, I don't even think that they're married, are they? But
no idea.
they've been together for a long time. Do you know what I mean? And he's in the shadows. But I don't think she would be where she is without his love and support and strength about what he does. I'm sure he loves the money as well too. But
I'm pretty sure he loves vacuuming.
I'm sure he's never vacuumed in his life. Well, not since he met Oprah anyway. But that's all I can really sort of say. You know, your partner should be understanding of that, and yeah, you know, like that's really where I'm coming from. So.
Okay, so we moved on a little bit to adults there, yeah, with partners. What to do in a situation though, when you have kids, you have a partner, and example again from my students, I won't name the guy, father of 5. His wife is luckily his wife is very supportive, and every time he comes into class, I can't think highly enough about how much he's working. He's a beautiful songwriter. I have yet to persuade him to come up on stage, because as a lot of those very talented, very
tortured artists.
Yeah, tortured artists. He's always unhappy with himself. So I'm really thinking about sending him to you, Peter, just to put his brain straight, because I'm at my wit's ends with this. He has to go up on stage already. Yeah, and he's very lucky to have a family who supports him. And he literally has to work 3 jobs to do this, because he's, as far as I understand, he's a sole provider as well. So definitely it's not unheard of what to do in a situation when you are a sole provider for a family and your family is not like this beautiful one. It doesn't want you to do it. It doesn't want you to spend any money on anything, on a new guitar, on a lesson once in a while, and doesn't want you to spend any time out. But you are already committed. You have a family. You cannot just walk.
So then, reiterating that question, it's not the whole family that's against him. It would be one person that may be brainwashing the other people to do that. So let's say, I don't want to be discriminative, let's say it's his partner, and then she would be saying, oh look, Dad's away doing X, X and X or whatever it is, and he doesn't care for it because he's doing that. Again, there's just got to be clear communication saying, look, this is what Dad does, this is his passion and his purpose. And kids, one of these days, now, even not even one of these days, you need to find your passion and your purpose in life and what brings you joy, and we would support you doing that. You know, there are people from very poor backgrounds that have become very successful. I read Sting's autobiography a long time ago, but he was a primary school teacher, a high school teacher, and I think he had two children before the police broke. Mm-hmm. And you've just got to again, clear communication. Just say, look, I really would love your support here. I'm not going to run off and leave you. I love you. I love the kids, but I just want to express my art here. This is what I want to do, and I'm willing to do this, and this, and then I'll take the kids this time, and you can go off and have your time. And whether that be sleeping, or whether that be knitting, or whether that be going and taking singing lessons with Vox Singing Academy, I just think there's a compromise in everything. And the big thing is and I've dealt with, Natalie and Brett Parnell, and they've got 3 kids, mm-hmm. and they both perform in bands, separate bands themselves. And Brett's a police officer, and he works swing shifts, and they make it happen.
Fantastic story.
Yeah, and so he's a shout out. So, oh God, I've just gone really blank with Natalie's band. She's in a large cover band. Sorry to lose me. And,
We'll find them and put them in the description below.
and Brett is in Kiss This, the Kiss cover band, Kiss This, and they make it work. And they both work full-time jobs, and they've both got stressful jobs. And they've got 3 kids, and they both gig, and they make it happen. And
Awesome.
anything is possible. And if you're in that situation, whatever your friend's name is, maybe he needs to speak to Natalie Parnell or Brett Parnell, maybe, and see what they do. They've got a great relationship, and they I think everything's a compromise, and that's really what it is. And really, if this person is really rebelling against you and working against you, and it's a negative force and it's grating and it's like sandpaper against you, they don't really truly love you for who you are. That's my thing. I know that's hard.
So I would like to offer a final solution for this situation. Write them a love song.
Definitely. Yeah.
Write them a love song, keep writing them love songs until they realize how important. Because very often it comes from a place of vulnerability. Or what is my girlfriend doing?
Yeah.
Half a week in some studio with some dudes.
Yeah.
Why? And also there may be influence from other members of the family. So she's away, she's like with all those people, what do you think she's doing there? She's coming home late. So it can be some other behind the scenes influence happening. So sometimes to reassure your partner that you value both the relationships and the music, not only you need to express interest in their hobbies and their passions as well, and not only demand their respect and for your hobbies and passions, but also give them respect and time for theirs. And again, it's a trade-off, as Peter mentioned. Yes, you look after the kids while I'm doing the show, and I will look after the kids while you're taking your dance class.
Compromise.
Yes. Love songs is a fantastic thing. Give it a try, you guys.
Can I just say something here as well too? I deal with people who've got families, and you can get away with 6 hours of sleep, and when the kids go to sleep, you come home, spend a couple of hours with the kids, have your family time, make dinner, do that, and from 9 o'clock to 2 o'clock in the morning is plenty of time to work on your hobbies or whatever it is. It really is. People go, I've got this, that and the other, I've got this commitments. Well, how much TV have you watched? I added up.
Yeah.
Someone quizzed me about this year, and I added up how much commercial TV I watched last year. Commercial TV, not YouTube. And it was 35 minutes. And it was the grand final. It was the pre-entertainment.
Aww.
It was the first 10 minutes of the grand final and the last 5 minutes of the grand final, right here. And I still had the key. I still had my computer in front of me doing it. But people go, I don't have time. I don't do this. I can't. Don't stop watching.
Crap.
Moonshiners or something like that. Someone told me about some thing in America where it's a reality TV show where they follow people that make moonshine. I'm going, have we lost the plot here? There are no excuses. At 10 o'clock when the kids are going to bed, if they're in high school, we've still got 4 hours to go and do. Let's go and write 4 hours. I have to get up at 7. That's great. Let's do that. Whatever it might be. Maybe you got more time on the weekend. Maybe the kids are away doing stuff on the weekend. There's always time. You've got to make time. How many times I've emailed you at, I think we broke the record, I think it was quarter.
It was around 4. It was around 4 at one point.
In the middle of the week, it was and this was I think it was a Wednesday night, and we were both teaching.
Yeah.
And I don't know why, I emailed you for some reason saying, Emily, can you make sure you get onto this tomorrow? And I, bing, Jesus Christ, what are you doing up at 4 o'clock? Anyway, that's just what I did.
MIDI keyboard with headphones. This is what I'm doing.
You know, well, I can honestly tell you the last 3 days in a row, I've gone to bed at 4 o'clock and I've been up at 8:30 in the morning, and because I just needed to get stuff done, and that's what it is. I'm green tea to my eyeballs, but that's what it is, you know. So I'm not unhealthy. I had 2 colds last year that put me out for a total of 6 days. Kept on singing, but I mean a total of 6 days of not exercising. So I exercise every day. I didn't exercise. I was speaking to a female friend of mine yesterday, and I added up how many days I had off from exercising last year, and it was about 12. The other days I was too tired or too busy, but I try to make time for exercise and meditation every day. But we're getting off the subject. There's plenty of time for when your partner goes to bed. If she goes to bed at 11, well, let's go and write songs and do stuff and put it on YouTube and send it to record companies. And we might not be performing, and you can do a lot of damage between 11 and 2 o'clock or whenever it is. On a Saturday night, do it. Let's not go to bed. You know, that's when you normally go out and hang out with your mates. Let's go and put some stuff. So, champions don't make excuses.
Yes. Okay, let's move on to the next part of it, to the next age. When you are a senior and you live in a retirement home, like some of my students are, that's the thing. So Karen, remember I told her about and broke into tears. So some people start up very late in life and they live in retirement homes or communities or with their young family members who do not approve of them singing. And obviously there is a certain dependency as well on other people's schedule and time.
I've got no shoes on.
Keep it down, come on. There are some people who like it too much and may come to the video just for that. Seriously, Idris Elba has a thing for feet, and I think Kate Winslet mentioned it in one of the interviews. She was doing a film with Idris Elba, and she was like, "Yeah, I was doing a love scene, and he asked me to keep socks on."
Okay.
Yeah.
Retirement homes.
Retirement homes. Can we trim this out? This was such a non sequitur.
No, we're not going to trim it out. This is live and it's raw and it's the truth and it's our truth, and if people don't like it, tough titties.
Yeah.
So okay, yes. Retirement homes are very generally wanting a lot of entertainment, so it is quite big. I have a friend of mine, LJ Esquire, coming at you like a bomb, and LJ has music, I think it's called Morning Melodies or something like that, but I'm going to put a link into LJ Esquire's link and he has a sing-along section where, and LJ's 36, he had his birthday last week. Happy birthday, LJ.
Happy birthday.
And him and his mother get together, he plays the music, he plays guitar, and his mum sings. And his mum's obviously probably in her 50s, and they record, they've got numerous CDs that they sell to retirement homes to do that. But anyway, again, it's really the same thing. I think that you've got a lot more flexibility this way because you're retired, you've got the time. There are a lot more groups.
Yes.
Elderly citizens groups that sing. There are choir groups that will enable anyone at any age to come in. And let me tell you, every church has got a choir. Okay, so within the block, you know, because the Catholic Church own more property in the world. No, the McDonald's own more property than the Catholic Church. There is a choir within, generally if you're in a bigger city, there should be a church somewhere within a half a kilometre.
Yes.
I think there are a lot more opportunities this way. And I think, again, if your partner or whoever it is not again, it's the same thing. If they're not supportive of that, or the elderly citizens home is not supportive of that, you're in the wrong home, because they should be wanting to do that. And stimulation and physical activity, mental stimulation and physical activity is so important once you get over 50. It really is. It's so important, and you need to keep on doing that. It's really, really important. So we're just repeating the same thing, just changing it up. but I think when you're older, there's a lot more you just say. I want.
So let's list some organizations that senior citizens could contact for some singing opportunities. So you just did the church. For example, they are Muslim. They cannot go to pubs or anywhere alcohol is served. Like there are a lot of pub sing-alongs. I did not grow old in Australia yet. Hopefully I will. I got my citizenship test next week. Yay!
Yay!
So what or where?
We'd hate to smuggle you back from Russia.
No, I'm
a big suitcase.
I'm a resident. The worst thing that can happen is I won't be allowed to vote until I'm allowed to retake the citizenship test. But we'll know soon enough. Yeah. So, what do I do when I'm old and my husband suddenly decides that singing is not for me and I can't sing at home, and nobody around me wants me to sing anymore? Where do I go? Like specifically, what I'm looking for? A library, city council, what organization do I go to?
Yes, look, you've just got to basically, I've got a big thing in life, and I've got a very, I would have to recommend this for everyone. Make sure that what you wish for, you want, because sometimes what you don't want, you also get as well too. I know that I've had some things where I've been meditating and praying and I'm going, wow, and that actually happened. If you put it out there, it will happen. So it doesn't matter whether you're Muslim or whether you can't speak the language. You've just got to get contact and make contact with people within your community or your neighbour or your friend or anyone. Because this person next door, if you talk to them, they might have a contact, and it's a ripple effect, it's a butterfly effect. So don't give up, and there is always somewhere you can go to. You know, there are places that you can go and perform, and there are rooms that you can hire anywhere. We've talked to Dandenong Youth Services. They've got the castle. They've got places you can rehearse there. There are schools, universities that hire out rooms. We hire out numerous rooms for our studios, and you can always go somewhere. So even if you can't do it in the house, you can go somewhere else. Talk to someone within your community. There's a main leader in your community. If you're Muslim, if you're Sudanese, if you're Vietnamese, it doesn't matter. There's a main leader in your community, and speak to them. If you're getting, if there's some injustice that's happening, speak to them about what's happening. And say, look, I don't think this is fair, or my husband's not supporting this. Do you think you can speak to him? Because I want to sing. I like singing Mariah Carey, and I want to be able to do this. And just because they serve alcohol doesn't mean that you can't go in there and do that, as long as you're not drinking alcohol. I think that's the thing. But again, you know, one of Arnold Schwarzenegger's, I'm going to put Arnold Schwarzenegger's, I think, 7 tips to success. And one of his tips to success were, and he says, bend the rules. Be a maverick. That's one of the things that he says. Bend the rules, be a maverick, don't break the law, but you know, and there are lots of great artists. I'm working with a girl from Afghanistan at the moment. Her family's very supportive, and we're doing Afghanistani songs. And there are big hits over there, and I say, is this a big hit? She said, this girl's huge over there. You know, and so it doesn't matter where you are, what you're doing. I'm bad with names here today. It's been a long day. The name's going to come to me. It'll come to me 5 minutes before I'm about to go to sleep. But yeah, that's just really what I can say. You just got to reach out and you've got to put it out there. Yeah. Sitting on your bum's not going to do anything. You've got to take positive action, and you got to execute. That's what you got to do. You got to follow through, and you got to execute. And you know, I'm just inspired by a lot of the people like Nelson Mandela, who was in prison for 27 years. You know what I mean? Bob Marley. Freddie Mercury, these types of people that you know, Arnold Schwarzenegger, you know, they come from very. Yes. If you've got a passion for it, do it, and as I said, compromise, and that's really what I can say. I think there's a compromise in every situation. I'm repeating my same truth because that's just really what it is, and they're just different situations.
Yes.
Reach out and ask, because maybe if someone from the community speaks to your partner, that might make the difference. And don't give up.
A great idea would be to hop onto Facebook groups.
Lots of Facebook groups, lots of community Facebook groups, so you're never alone.
Yes.
There is a Facebook group out there for everything.
Yes.
You know, so you know, there was I had never used the H word. There was a I H Gary Ablett Facebook page. I H Gary Ablett Junior Facebook page. I'm going,
why is that a thing?
Have you got just too much time on your hands to start up a Facebook page? Anyway, all the people that
people are weird.
All the people that like that page are probably going to dislike this, but I don't really give two rats. But yeah, look, fantastic. There are lots of communities out there. Reach out. You know, social media is a great thing. There is something out there for everything.
On Melbourne Musician, there's constantly posts. They are usually like so adorable. Oh, a couple of blokes, silver foxes, looking for a leading lady over 50 to sing jazz standards. Like, go for it. Put up your own ad, say, like, be upfront. Hey, I'm 70, I started taking singing lessons or didn't. Who wants to do music with me? Like, let's just go do that. And you may meet some potheads, you may meet some weird people, but you may meet fantastic friends and creative partners. And especially, yes, there are some, ultimately we all live in a very lonely world, like by ourselves. Each and every one of us has like their own virtual universe in their head. Like, you sit right now a meter away from me and we are in the same space, but we have totally different points of view, right? We have different pictures in our heads, and so ultimately, even though you're constantly always alone, reach out. There are people who are struggling with the same things as you do. Exactly.
And worse.
Yes.
And worse.
Yes.
You know,
be grateful for what you have.
Yeah, I always think, I'm having a bad day, but there's someone in the middle of Africa somewhere, Tanzania, and they've walked an hour to get fresh water and an hour back 3 times that day to get it, and they're 8 years old with a bucket on their head. I'm just making that up, but I'm sure that it happens.
Absolutely.
So, but there is always someone worse, and never give up. That's all I can really sort of say. Yeah, but I think we should probably wind up because I think it's really just the same thing.
Yeah.
If you believe in your vision, nothing's going to stop you.
Keep committing, keep practicing, keep talking to your loved ones, keep demonstrating that you have this passion, not just say it, not just get into fights, keep demonstrating it. Offer them something in return for their support if they are kind of on the fence and don't feel that it's serious enough. And yes, if all else fails, reach out. There are people who will support you, who will be your friends, who will be your creative family.
You've got to put it out there. Please, guys, watch Bohemian Rhapsody, the Queen movie, and if that doesn't inspire you, nothing else will. His family weren't supportive, and he just went out there and put it out there and said, hey, I heard that your lead singer's left, and he just started singing. Bang, rest is history. Okay, guys, we'll sign off. Thanks, Em.
Thanks, Peter.
No problems. Thank you for watching, guys. We really appreciate it. Much love. Have fun singing, and we'll see you on the next episode of Vox Singing Academy's video podcast. Thanks. Bye-bye.
Talk soon.